Hi, I'm Kate Kelly, President of CanSpec, and welcome to Earth Day. We're proud to be partnered with the Sustainable Events Forum on such an important event. I'd also like to make note that we're working with them on our 2021 annual conference to be held in October of 2021. We hope that we'll have a great case study at the end of it, and we promise it will be our most sustainable event ever. Congratulations to the Sustainable Events Forum on another job well done. Happy Earth Day.
Everybody, Debbie Vanderbeek with Ignite here, and I'm happy to share with you some of our work-friendly sustainable earth practices. Everybody on my team works remotely, which really helps to reduce our carbon footprint.
Our magazine is printed on Forest Stewardship Council certified paper, and we work with an award-winning, environmentally progressive printer.
Ignite subscribers get to enjoy the magazine in the format they prefer. If you choose digital, we've packed it with a ton of multimedia content to ensure you enjoy the online experience.
We reduce waste by ensuring that we distribute every issue we print, and we encourage office copy sharing.
We pack our magazines with ideas and inspiration in the hopes that you'll keep them on your desk for future reference.
On behalf of the entire Ignite team, I wish you a wonderful Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day!
Happy Earth Day!
Happy Earth Day, everyone.
Happy Earth Day!
Hi, I'm Liz Holtby, President-elect for Site Canada. On behalf of Site Canada, we are promoting the Sustainable Events Forum, which is an annual event taking place on Earth Day, April 22nd. Along with myself and some of my colleagues, we encourage you to register for this event at tsef.ca.
Bonjour, bienvenue à tous. Très heureuse de vous voir aujourd'hui pour ce jour de la Terre, de rencontrer les gens de l'événementiel qui se rassemblent autour de la notion des événements plus éco-responsables. Je me présente, je suis Caroline Voyer du Conseil québécois des événements éco-responsables. Je remercie TSEF de nous avoir invités pour cet événement. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait, nous, dans la vie? On facilite, on encourage, on soutient l'organisation d'événements plus éco-responsables. Comment? À travers le développement d'outils, portail Internet, que ce soit un concours, les Viva. On offre aussi des formations, des conférences, tout ce qu'il faut pour soutenir notre belle communauté événementielle.
Welcome everyone and happy Earth Day. Very glad to see you all today. I'm a sustainability advisor at the Sustainable Events Council. So we work closely with event planners to try and make sure that events are more sustainable. We have been working together with the Sustainable Events Forum for quite some time now, and we're very happy to be creating alliances with organizations across Canada that have the same values as we do, because we do believe that it is the best way to make progress happen more quickly.
On souhaite la meilleure des chances à toutes et à tous les nominés. Nous sommes particulièrement fiers, mais pas du tout surprises de voir que Montréal et Québec sont parmi les nominés.
Good luck to all the nominees. Thanks for all your efforts towards sustainability, and we are looking forward to working together to reduce the footprint of events in Canada.
Hey Nat, what did you put in your Earth Day smoothie?
I was trying to do blue for like the ocean, so I did blueberries, but it kind of turned out a little purpley. What's in your brown mix there?
I was trying to do brown for the earth. I put in some cocoa powder and kale.
And how does that taste?
Delicious.
Oh, hey everybody!
Hi everyone. Hi everyone, I'm Candice Dulciram of the Sustainable Events Forum. Welcome to Earth Day for Event People. This is my partner at TSCF, Natalie Lowe. A warm hello to our TSCF community. Welcome back. For those of you joining us for the first time, you might be asking what TSCF is and what we do. This is our 6th event, and this last event in February was our Moonshot Challenge, or a carbon neutral event.
Absolutely, absolutely. TSCF exists in order to make the meetings and events industry more sustainable. We use 4 pillars to do that: education, inspiration, collaboration, and action. And of course, action being the most important. Now, this might make it sound like we have a very serious mission, but rest assured, we do not take ourselves too seriously. We like to have a lot of fun with our climate action.
TSEF welcomes everyone, no matter their level of climate awareness. Learning about the climate crisis is a journey, and everyone makes that journey at their own pace. As we learn and grow as an industry, we will make better choices to create gatherings that are better for the planet.
Absolutely. And we want to thank you for joining us today. As you know, today is carbon neutral. Thank you to the sponsorship of Discover Halifax. And this Earth Day, we are celebrating the cities and towns across Canada who are on the front lines of the climate crisis and who are working hard to protect Canada's natural beauty. We also want to welcome all of the industry organizations who willingly came forward and helped us promote and inspire you on Earth Day to make the events industry more sustainable. We look forward to working with all of you as we go forward. And as Helen Keller once said, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much.
On behalf of the TSEF team, we are wishing you
a happy Earth Day.
Earth Day.
Cheers. Hello, welcome to the second annual Earth Day for Event People. I'm Natalie of the Sustainable Events Forum. I want to give a big shout out to all of you joining us from coast to coast to coast, and our friends from CanSpep, Site Canada, MPIBC, and the Sustainable Events Forum Quebec. And to all of you joining us, thank you for spending your Earth Day with us. Also with us today is our friend and colleague, Lior Rothschild. Lior is the Executive Director of Canadian Business for Social Responsibility, and he also has a podcast called Pipelines and Turbines, which covers a wide range of sustainability issues. We heard that you should hang out with people who are smarter than you, so we love spending time with Lior. My friend, welcome.
Thanks so much for the warm welcome and happy Earth Day. And Nat, your comment about well, hanging out with smart people. I mean, that's very high praise coming from such a brilliant mind in the sustainability and events sector. I lead an organization called CBSR, as you just heard, and I get to work with several industries across Canada, but the sustainable events sector is where I spent a large part of my career. So it's a special pleasure for me to take part in this events professionals event and a fun celebration of leading practices and national treasures.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're all very proud of our nation. And thanks, Lior. We're happy to have you on the team today. Speaking of the team, behind the scenes, Candace is going to join us soon. She's just getting those last minute registrations all fixed up. We've got Rose Timmerman-Gitzi in the control room with Adam A and Adam B of AV Canada. And of course, we've got Zoe and Leanna.
That's right. Zoe and Leanna will be active on the chat today, and they're going to answer questions and provide relevant resources. We would love to see a really active, dynamic discussion happening in the chat. But remember, today is a celebration, so let's keep the chat communication positive and encouraging and consistent with this celebratory mood that we're creating.
Absolutely, absolutely. Today is a day to celebrate. We've got the other days to work on how we can improve. But first, I would like to say hello to our friends from the Yukon. And although we're spread across Canada from coast to coast, we reached out to Yukon and asked them to give the land acknowledgement for our event from their territory. So please welcome Alida Monroe of the Yukon Convention Bureau.
Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon to all the beautiful people from across Canada. Again, my name is Alida Monroe with the Yukon Convention Bureau, and I'd like to thank the team at the Sustainable Events Forum for inviting us to do the traditional land acknowledgement from here in the Yukon. And before I do that, I thought I'd share a brief piece of Yukon history directly related to that. So the Yukon is home to 14 self-identifying First Nations. And in the late 60s, early 70s, they formed what is now known as the Council of Yukon First Nations, CYFN. And it was this group that got together and created and developed a plan, a document, directly speaking to acknowledgement for traditional territories and a path for self-governance. And in 1973, when this document called Together Today for Our Children Tomorrow was completed, they went to Ottawa. They had several representatives from CYFN, including their then chief, Elijah Smith, and they presented it to then Prime Minister Pierre Elliott Trudeau. And one of the significant aspects of this document was that it was the first of its kind in all of Canada. It was a signal that change was long overdue, and it was literally at their doorstep. And when we think about why we're here today, sustainability, we're talking about stewardship, respect, care for the land and the place that we live on and call home. And we often associate great change with great achievement from large organizations and groups, from big urban city centers. And while that may be true, I feel it's also important to remember that sometimes great achievement leading to great change, good things can come from small places. So with that said, again, my name is Alita. I'm coming to you from the capital of the Yukon, the city of Whitehorse, and I would like to respectfully acknowledge that we're on the traditional land and territory of the Kwanlin Dun First Nation and the Ton Quechan Council. Gulnashish, Masicho. Thank you to everyone, and happy Earth Day from the Yukon.
Oh, thank you, Alita and Yukon, and we hope that each of you will be grateful for the land that you inhabit today.
Yes, thank you, Alita. I certainly feel grateful and very privileged for the quality of life that I enjoy on this beautiful land, the Indigenous peoples and diverse cultural communities, as well as Canada's pristine nature and the relative stability due to the rule of law are all attributes that make Canada what it is, and a great place to live and a desirable country to visit. But there is a grim side of our story that I think it is important to reflect on and do some level setting, because Canada is the world's 10th largest emitter of greenhouse gas emissions and the highest emitter per capita. Our country is warming at nearly twice the global rate, with parts of Western and Northern Canada warming 3 or 4 times the global average. A scientific consensus has emerged linking climate change to extreme weather events. And despite the massive decline in economic activity caused by COVID-19, 2020 was a catastrophic year for extreme weather events. Fort McMurray, which was hit with a devastating wildfire in 2016, was flooded last April. 77 tornadoes were documented in Canada last year, including a record 42 in Ontario. Wildfires in the US spread smoke northward into BC and Alberta, forcing millions to suffer through foul, dirty air for 2 terrible weeks in September. And last summer, hailstorms and stormy weather caused extensive property damages and power outages, costing insurers over $50 million. That's just in Alberta alone. Finding an equilibrium with our ecosystem isn't going to be easy. It will require us all to make transformational changes, to be extremely energy efficient, reduce or eliminate waste, and dramatically decarbonize industries, buildings, and transportation systems by half within a decade. Perhaps that seems impossible. Well, success is certainly not guaranteed, but getting it right is worth trillions of dollars in economic opportunities, so the incentives are there. And I'm encouraged by the inspiring work I'm exposed to every day in my work, supporting Canadian companies like Capital Power, who's capturing CO2 or carbon dioxide from their gas facility and converting it into lightweight steel, and Summit Nanotech, who is mining abandoned sites for liquid lithium to supply the fast-growing electric car battery business. I'm also encouraged by the renewed efforts of the US, who you might have heard just this morning announced a 50% emissions reduction target by 2030. I'm also encouraged by similar efforts in Europe, China, and of course, Canada, which also increased its ambition this morning to cut greenhouse gas emissions by 45% by 2030. And earlier this week announced a $17.5 billion package of investments that were in the budget to address this issue. Canada has a national price on carbon, which was recently ruled by the Supreme Court to be constitutional. In fact, during that same decision, the Supreme Court of Canada ruled that climate change is real and poses an existential threat to humanity. So whether you're doing it for moral reasons or economic reasons, or simply because you're obeying the rules of the land in Canada, we all have an important role to play in being part of the solution.
Absolutely. And while our focus today remains on the climate emergency, we are currently living in lockdown in many parts of the country due to COVID-19. Safety and sanitation are going to be primary concerns for events going forward, and maybe for a lot longer than we think as we recover from the trauma of the pandemic. Now, the great thing is we don't need to be safe or sustainable. We can actually be safe and sustainable. In February, the TSEF Moonshot charted the path for a carbon negative event under COVID restrictions. It can be done. Those resources are on the TSEF website, and Zoe and Leanna are going to drop those links into the chat. Further, for some great thought leadership, our friend Laura Bickle over at Ignite wrote an excellent article on how you can achieve sustainability and safety, and we'll also drop that link in. And I just want to give a wee shout out to the Edmonton Convention Centre. Certainly one of the most sustainable venues in Canada in a very sustainable destination. They recently received the GBAC Star accreditation for sanitation. So the answer is yes, it's possible to be safe and sustainable.
Okay, so today we are going to hear from 10 destinations represented by champions. The destinations were nominated by the TSCF community. The champions are event professionals from all across Canada. So they're not sustainability experts. They do events for a living. They did not choose their destinations. This was a learning experience for them. And this involved researching the destination and its sustainability plan and producing a short video explaining why their destination should be announced the winner. The destinations then selected 9 photos to tell the story of their locations, and the champions narrated the photos. While we will name one ultimate winner, these destinations have already all won by virtue of being nominated by event professionals, and they all deserve recognition for the excellent work they're doing.
So you might be asking why the focus on destinations and why have event planners represent them instead of letting them represent themselves? What we really wanted to do here at TSCF is to start the conversation about sustainability and how where you hold your event affects the sustainability of your event. Destinations are the vital key to making our events more planet friendly. They work behind the scenes, and those actions have a huge effect on event emissions. Municipalities oversee water, waste stream, transportation. They decide how land will be used for a park or an industrial complex, and they influence energy efficiency and construction materials. All very glamorous things.
Well, that's right. Where you host your event is often the first thing you choose. Canadian destinations are uniquely positioned to serve the needs of your clients and those clients' climate commitments. Not only do these organizations have detailed climate plans, but they're tracking and publicly reporting on their key performance indicators. This makes them trustworthy partners to event producers who are committed to helping clients manage their carbon footprint. You know, during the pandemic, more than 2,300 companies have already pledged carbon neutrality. 13 Canadian companies, many of them CBSR members, I'm proud to say, have had their net zero emission targets assessed and approved by the internationally recognized Science Based Targets Institute. And these companies are seeing a positive premium on their stock price. So this stuff pays. And that premium is motivating many more companies to move in that direction. So aligning events with the needs of these businesses is akin to, moving to where the puck is going.
Excellent. Nice Wayne Gretzky quote
Well,
slid in there.
we're celebrating Canada Day.
Absolutely. Now, for those of you who attended our February event, you know events are mostly Scope 3 emissions for these companies. Cynthia Williams is the Global Director of Sustainability for the Ford Motor Company, and she recently said that Ford will reduce their Scope 3 emissions by 76%. That means that their travel, their meetings, their conferences, and their incentives need to have 1/4 the emissions that they had in 2005. This will affect all of us in the travel industry, and if we are prepared, we can compete. In fact, we expect carbon emissions will be posted alongside the financial cost when you go to register for an event or take travel in the future. As Lior said, we need to go where the puck will be. So at TSEF, we aim to provide you all with as many resources as possible that work for your meetings and events perspective. So you have a toolbox of solutions. Next up, we have Dean from Climate Reality Project Canada to introduce a data tool that will be helpful to look at how cities and towns stack up. To tell us more about the National Climate League, which is the project, here's Dean Evangelou of Climate Reality Project.
Hello all, and thank you so much for being here at Earth Day for Event People. I'm wishing you all a very happy Earth Day. My name is Dean Evangelou, and I'm the National Campaign Manager for the Climate Reality Project Canada. Climate Reality Project Canada is the Canadian branch of the Climate Reality Project, founded in 2006 by former Vice President of the United States and Nobel laureate Al Gore. Its mission is to catalyze a global solution to the climate crisis by making urgent actions a necessity across all levels of society. We do so by training a vast and international network of climate reality leaders to become effective communicators on the science and solutions to climate change. We also involve ourselves in lobbying and advocacy work. So we coordinate the yearly National Climate League, or NCL, standings to hashtag Measure What Matters and get Canadians on a path toward carbon neutrality by 2050. The NCL tracks progress on 15 primary and 15 complementary indicators. At a citizen's request, municipalities submit data for each indicator based on a variety of methodologies that the team at the Climate Reality Project Canada has established. For example, for a public transit indicator, we look into the number of transit trips per 100,000 people in any given year. For our walkability indicator, we look at the walk score that you can find quite easily at walkscore.com. The standings also function as a sort of contest. For example, this year, Calgary led the way in our bike lanes indicator. The standings then explain the policies in place that allowed their municipality to thrive in that indicator and can hopefully inspire other municipalities that aren't doing so great to improve. This year's standings were officially released on February 23rd, and they've been met with great enthusiasm. We are super excited to be able to share them with everyone on this call and the general public. I will post necessary links in the chat. You can access them by going online to climatereality.ca/NCL. At this landing page, you can find the link to download the 2020 NCL standings, as well as the slew of resources we have available on how you can use the NCL to make change in your community. We also ask that you share the landing page and the NCL itself throughout your community and your network. We want to make sure that we have as much visibility as possible for this year's iteration. For this year's NCL, we've also collaborated with McGill University to develop a podcast, highlighting conversations between our volunteers on the ground and an academic who specializes in their specific field. Currently, our podcast on electric vehicles is up on our landing page, so please check it out. So the nature of this project is that it is community-led, and every year we continue the data collection process early in the summer by recruiting new volunteers. You can join our community and make changes in yours by helping us out with the data collection and research processes for next year's iteration of the National Climate League. If you're interested, you can email me at devangelou@climatereality.ca. Volunteers will be able to get in contact with their elected officials to ask for data that makes life better for Canadians and help us conduct research and write blurbs on municipal policies that create positive change in cities. Thanks so much for hearing us out, and remember to hashtag Measure What Matters.
The data in the National Climate League report is helpful for companies and organizations looking to reduce their emissions because it's public and transparent, and certainly having it all compiled in one spot is so helpful. There's actually a lot of math in reducing your emissions. Zoe and Leanna have put all of the Climate Reality resources in the chat, and we'll be sure to include Dean's contact information in the follow-up email. Now, Candace and Leah are going to take us on a virtual tour of Canada as our champions advocate for their destination nominees. You'll notice each champion has done their own video and photo presentation a bit differently, but everyone stepped out of their comfort zone and put in a ton of work, passion, and creativity into their presentation. Please give them some love to both the destination reps and the champions for being so willing to learn and grow through this process. Candace and Lior, let's start our Grand Canadian tour.
Thanks, Natalie. Let's kick things off with our most eastern destination nominee. St. John's formally declared a climate emergency on November 4th, 2019. They've worked to protect their incredible natural resources with a strong sustainability planning framework. St. John's combination of natural beauty, warm hospitality, and savvy climate action makes this destination a special place to hold their next conference or event. The champion for St. John's is Debbie Arado. She planned a conference in St. John's for event planners and fell in love with the city. Let's hear from Debbie.
Hi everyone, my name's Debbie Arado, champion for beautiful destination St. John's, and I had the privilege back in 2019 of chairing CanSPEP's conference in St. John's.
Hi, I'm Casper, and I was lucky because my mom flew me and my grandma to St. John's after her conference for vacation.
What was your favorite part of our trip?
There was so much I loved, but I would have to say the whale watching.
We did see a lot of whales, didn't we?
Yeah.
Did you know that St. John's has the largest population of humpback whales?
Wow.
And they also have minke whales, pilot, fin, sperm, blue, orca whales too.
That's a lot. How do they keep their water clean and safe for these whales?
Well, St. John's has put together an environment and sustainability experts panel with lots of different organizations that are part of it. For example, the Marine Waste Management. And they have different programs and campaigns such as Take the Pledge.
I remember the pledge. Love this place, rethink your waste.
That's right, Casper. It's basically having all ocean users like fishermen and tourists and boaters pledge to bring their waste from ship back to shore where they can dispose of it properly. It's to help reduce marine debris by bringing their waste back with them. Things like plastic, metal, other man-made materials that can harm marine life and habitats, negatively impacting the health of the ocean ecosystem.
Wow.
So why don't we show everyone some pictures that shows all that's beautiful about destination St. John's?
Yes, that sounds amazing.
All right, here we go. St. John's has been named one of the most colorful cities in the world by Architecture and Design magazine. The people of St. John's are as colorful as the houses they live in. Home to the most easterly point in North America and the first place to see the sunrise, Cape Spear has been named in places in Canada you won't believe exist by the Huffington Post. Every year, icebergs come by the thousands along their coastline, affectionately called Iceberg Alley. Throughout downtown St. John's, the colorful houses and side streets are often referred to as Jelly Bean Row, originally painted in bright and various colors using discarded marine paint from ships in the harbor. St. John's has a vibrant and bustling entertainment and culinary scene. Newsweek magazine recently named St. John's as the #4 music meccas around the world you need to visit. St. John's is a city on the edge of nature, earning it the title of top coastal destination in the world by National Geographic. St. John's is the seaboard capital of North America with the largest puffin colony in the world. Every year, 22 species of whales and dolphins come for peace, quiet, and the odd photo op. St. John's is home to the largest concentration of humpback whales in the world. Oh, here's a picture Casper must have snuck in. Chief is a Newfoundland dog who's a St. John celebrity starring in different ads and commercials. Thank you, and please vote Destination St. John's.
That was great. And love that mother and daughter team. That was terrific. But next up is beautiful Charlottetown, PEI. You know, if a city could be charming, it would be Charlottetown. This small but mighty urban center has been combating climate change, including with its urban forest, water-wise landscaping, and wildlife programs. During my visit to Charlottetown, I followed a gourmet chef around named Robert Pendergast as he sourced local seafood and organic ingredients before he cooked the most unforgettable meal I've ever had in my life. Perhaps the birthplace of Confederation is also the birthplace of a renewed climate action for Canada. The Charlottetown Champion is one of those special meeting and event planners that everyone loves to work with. Known for her grace and kindness, Rose Timmerman-Gitze is an accomplished project manager, a past president of CanSPEP and chair of Meetings Mean Business. Rose has helped steer many initiatives in the events industry. And best known for her work behind the scenes, Rose is stepping into the spotlight to give Charlottetown the accolade it has earned.
Hi,
Take it
my
away.
name is Rose Timmerman-Gitze, and I'm so very proud to be the Sustainability Champion for Charlottetown PEI. Charlottetown is a beautiful, picturesque, and friendly destination. I had the pleasure of planning a national conference in Charlottetown over the summer of 2017. We worked very closely with Meetings and Conventions PEI to build a program for our conference attendees so that they could experience the cuisine, the charm, everything that the city has to offer and create those unforgettable moments. That Charlottetown, in conjunction with a province-wide initiative, they've been building sustainability plans and awareness for years. There's an initiative called the Integrated Community Sustainability Plan. And in this plan, there's a focus on sustainability improvements for water, energy, transportation, food, nature, and so much more. Have all been key success factors in helping Charlottetown on its way to being a sustainable leader. You can learn more at charlottetown.ca and click Environmental Sustainability. Now, when it's time to vote, I would really appreciate your vote for beautiful Charlottetown. Welcome to PEI and beautiful Charlottetown. Did you know that as an island, PEI must bring its energy in from other provinces? Well, the City of Charlottetown has worked in conjunction with the province of PEI to build the Sustainability Communities Initiative so that energy generation is designed to fit the need in that community, using the resources that they have available to them. This new approach to energy generation will help the island communities take the lead on how they power their homes and businesses. The Delta Prince Edward by Marriott and the Prince Edward Island Convention Center both have a program called Make Green Choice, and that enables their participating guests to help reduce their own environmental footprint by providing rewards options such as having a tree planted. The City of Charlottetown is going to be launching a sustainability events trailer. Will help support the city's commitment to making events more sustainable. The trailer is going to have bike racks, waste sorting stations, and water buggy. I hope you learned a little bit more about Charlottetown. And when it's time to vote, I hope you vote for Charlottetown. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Rose. At our February TSC event, we talked about some of these steps that people are taking, but we said reusable straws are great, but they aren't actually going to stop the ice caps from melting. We have to match the scale of the solutions to the scale of the problem.
That's right. We need to flatten the curve on emissions, which starts with setting a carbon neutral or net zero emissions goal. What does that mean? Just like managing a financial budget, you'll need to add up all of your emissions from waste and energy use and convert them into a consistent measure of tons of CO2 or carbon dioxide, just like you would convert different currencies into one base currency. For example, 1 ton of methane is about 86 tons of carbon. There are both free and paid resources that can help you to do this, depending on the complexity of the initiative you're working on?
Absolutely. It's vitally important that first you reduce your emissions by choosing low carbon options before cutting back. Then you can offset the remaining emissions.
Yeah, and we're seeing companies making carbon pledges in a huge way.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, over 2,300 companies have pledged carbon neutrality in 2020 during this pandemic. They're finding that in order to attract capital investment or get reasonable insurance rates, they need to disclose their risks associated with climate exposure.
Yeah.
They are providing climate plans and emissions data and demonstrating how they're linking sustainability as well as inclusion of women and people of color into their governance processes and compensation incentives.
So in a nutshell, action starts with us. And at TSEF, we take that pretty seriously. In the planning for this event, the broadcast, the planning, and your attendance have actually been calculated to emit approximately 0.75 tons of carbon. And with the generous sponsorship of Destination Halifax, pardon me, Discover Halifax, apologies, Tammy, we have offset all of your emissions today. 1.5 tons of carbon has actually been offset with official carbon offsets by Carbon Farmer. So actually we're carbon negative for this event. And
Awesome.
Thank you again to Halifax for being our carbon neutral sponsor.
Also, thank you to Chloe at Quebec Sustainable Events Council for doing the emissions calculations for this event. Merci beaucoup, mon ami. Also, I should take this moment to just give a special shout out to Halifax's very own Carbon Cure Technologies, who was announced this week as the winner of the $10 million Carbon X Prize competition. And they won this for their carbon capture technology, which stores CO2 in concrete. So there is an article in the chat box, so check that out. And way to represent Halifax.
Absolutely.
Sanat, I heard that you went on a bit of a shopping spree. Is this the correct thing?
Yeah. Candace called me and told me to put away the bank account for a bit, but I bought trees. So we purchased a tree to be planted for every destination nominated, every champion, and each sponsor. And actually, we bought one for you too, Lior, but well, okay, honestly, we put your daughter's name on that tree. So it's Hello, Zoe.
Oh, wow. I love that.
Well, we hope she does too. And you can buy trees too. The trees are a forest regeneration project. They help to make Canada greener. And in fact, our Canadian boreal forests that we're so proud of are actually considered under threat, one of the top 3 forests in the world under threat. And I think past TSEF attendees will be very disappointed if they didn't hear me say at least once, everyone should buy recycled toilet paper. So buy a tree, buy recycled toilet paper. Next up, we have our good friend Miranda G of Destination Greater Victoria. Miranda and I spoke a few days ago about what Victoria is doing to combat the climate crisis. I don't want to spoil this surprise, but they're doing a lot. So Miranda. Hello, Miranda. So thank you for joining me today and congratulations on some really incredible things going on in Victoria right now. Wanted to ask you about some of them. When we were doing all the research for today, we noticed that Victoria is like one of the most walkable cities in Canada. I think you guys have, this huge score for walking, and it's double what my own hometown is. So we noticed when we were in Victoria for a conference how easy it was to get around. Talk to us a little bit about sort of how easy it is to get around Victoria and the convention center.
Yes, Nat, absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the key things that we do talk about when you're in Victoria. It is such a walkable city. Everything's within walking distance from the conference center to all of our major hotels and our attractions is all within walking distance. So when groups come, the great thing about it is that you don't have to worry about the group transportation, busing people from one place to the other. And I think the key thing that actually works in our favor as well is because of mild climate that we have year round here in Victoria. So that, even in the winter, you can be walking outside, probably with a light jacket on and still be able to do that. So, these are great things that we love about where we live. And it's nice when people come and they can enjoy that as well.
Yeah, it's beautiful year round there. It really is. But the big news, and I know it's not new news, but Victoria went carbon neutral as a destination. That is huge. So share with us, what does it mean to go carbon neutral and how did you do it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something we're really excited about. And we announced that it was kind of earlier this year that we announced it. And, in Victoria here, sustainability is really a core of, belief in a lot of things that we do. And this was something that we started looking into, but I think it was back in probably 2018. So we've actually been offsetting our flight emissions and all that from 2018, 2019, and then 2020, a lot of our material emissions, because of course we weren't flying around in 2020. So, in light of all that, we achieved our carbon neutral destination as a DMO this year. And it's been, such a great success for the team to be able to do something like that and something positive and something for the community that we really believe in. And thank you for recognizing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you've done such great work. And one of the things that I wanted to ask you, and, I'm hoping you don't mind me outing this, but I hear you've got a few new projects kind of coming in 2021.
Yeah, absolutely. And something I, wanted to share as well too, which is also exciting news, as the Victoria Conference Center has been working on its carbon neutral designation as a venue as well since 2019. So now we're officially a carbon neutral venue. We have that designation as well. And the great thing about it is when people are planning events in our venue, we're able to help planners, provide them with the tools to create carbon neutral events. So that's another exciting news in our destination. And kind of moving into the future, just in this last year, our organization has created as part of our board a sustainability committee of key leaders in our industry that are really working with us in the organization to implement more initiatives to the broader community to really help our business members, the visitor economy, to focus on different ways that they can be more sustainable. And, key part of what we do is really sharing our stories. And I know, as you know of, and many of you know of, our Impact Conference that happens every year. That's also a great way that we do share the messaging of what we're doing and bringing people together to talk about very important topic to us.
Yes, absolutely. It's one of the things that really stood out to us, Miranda, about Victoria is you take care of your own carbon emissions and your sustainability plan, but you guys have been so generous in sharing. So thank you for sharing some time with me today to tell our audience what all the cool things you are doing. And good luck with the competition.
Thank you, Nat.
It's incredible that Victoria has done the work and gone carbon neutral as a destination last February. Congratulations, Victoria. This February, we asked the question at our TSEF Can event. Can an event in Canada, under realistic conditions, including the pandemic rules for social distancing and masks, be carbon neutral?
We challenged ourselves and two virtual teams, a virtual event and a hybrid event team, both were able to meet the challenge, but we learned some very valuable lessons. Yes, to make carbon neutral events practical, we realized we needed better information and better integration with our suppliers and venues to reduce emissions. 5 main points came out of the moonshot, and 2 of them were choose your location wisely and measure to manage, which actually led to today's Earth Day. I'll be speaking to a few of you in greater detail on our findings at the Waterloo FAM on May 11th and the RTO9 folks on May 20th. So hello to Waterloo and RTO9. Welcome to all of you. We were really happy after the moonshot to see the National Climate League report come out, because it truly does a lot of the work for us as event planners when we're comparing destinations.
That's right. And in that NCL report, we see Halifax is one of the greenest cities in Canada. But is Halifax the most sustainable event location in Canada? In 2019, Halifax declared a climate emergency, joining countries and major cities around the world, as well as nearly 500 Canadian municipalities. Halifax 2050 is the city's response to that declaration. What makes it different than all the other carbon neutral plans? They started with a bang, and a lot of plans are slowly making changes. But Halifax took a great start and is building on it, including their citizens and embracing technology at a breathtaking pace. Way to go, Halifax, leading the way with action. Halifax's champion is Betty Ann Shearer. Working with Tammy LeBlanc and Brenda Kupar of Destination Halifax, this terrific trio is sure to bring a solid case to vote for Halifax. Good luck, Halifax, NBA. Let's see what they got up to.
Hello, friends. How the Halifax are you? I'm Betty Ann Shearer, owner of ProPlan Conferences and Events, and it is my sincere pleasure to champion one of Canada's most beautiful, vibrant, and sustainable cities, Halifax, Nova Scotia. In the middle of the pandemic, in June of 2020, the Halifax Regional Council approved the Halifax 2050 Plan, the region's first comprehensive and long-term climate change action plan. This positioned Halifax to be a climate change leader in North America. The Halifax 2050 Plan will have the emissions of the city corporation at carbon neutral by 2030 and the entire city by 2050. Let's look at what has been achieved by the numbers. Over 90% of Haligonians strongly support climate action, which is evident in the care they have taken with their climate action plan. Over 118 energy efficiency projects have been completed in Halifax to date. 26 solar energy projects have also been completed. 15% of building emissions have been reduced from 2018 levels already. And the big number, 40,000 streetlights in the city are switching to low energy LED lights. This earth-saving, impactful project is almost complete. From buildings to protection of coastal areas to encouraging local food production, Halifax has committed to a community that not only welcomes us and business events, but can help to make them low carbon and planet friendly. So join me in celebrating all that Halifax has to offer, its beauty, its music, its warm and generous people, and its commitment to climate change. Vote for Halifax. Cheers. Welcome to Halifax, Nova Scotia, a city known for its beauty and urban vibe while maintaining its unique East Coast charm. But did you know that Halifax is also a recognized leader in sustainable practices that are championing climate change action? According to the National Climate League report, Halifax continues to lead the way in Canada for the second year in waste reduction. This is due to the great initiatives our city has in place, such as offering free online webinars and workshops about waste management. National Climate League has also recognized Halifax as a winner 2 years running for producing and eating locally grown food, with approximately 3.6 public farmers markets per 100,000 residents. It may not look like a green roof from this view. However, Halifax's Seaport Farmers Market is a LEED Platinum building built with one of the largest green roofs in North America at 16,000 square feet. The recently developed Peggy's Cove Master Planning Project will ensure the continued livability of the community alongside tourism activity. This master plan will protect the community from the impacts of climate change and rising sea levels. Additionally, it creates a safe, accessible, and engaging experience for locals, visitors, and business operators. The National Climate League also recognizes Halifax as a leader in air quality, winning last year and coming in second place this year with only one more day of smog than the winner. And then there's the Halifax Convention Center, which is part of the Nova Center facility, made up of the Sutton Place Hotel, bars, restaurants, retail stores, and businesses. The Nova Center as a whole has received LEED Gold certification, one of the highest facility accreditations for performance in location, transportation, sustainable site development, water savings, energy efficiency, material selection, and indoor environmental quality. Speaking of amazing facilities, the new Halifax Library won a Lieutenant Governor's Design Award in Architecture and a Governor General's Medal in Architecture. The library incorporates many energy-saving and water-saving design features, such as rainwater harvesting for flushing water, computerized building management, use of local species in landscape design, and automatic lighting control. The National Climate League awards just keep racking up, as Halifax came in first in the medium cities category for having the most transit trips per capita. Using the transit system provides less congestion, air pollution, and greenhouse gas emissions. And in Halifax, our transit system also includes a ferry that runs every 15 minutes and boasts Nova Scotia's oldest saltwater ferry in continuous operation. And finally, one of Haligonians' biggest points of pride, the Port of Halifax. It's one of the largest naturally deep, ice-free harbors in the world. It can accommodate large volumes of containerized cargo, bulk cargo, and project cargo of any size. It's also a critical and strategic component of the Canada to New England cruise region, with 90% of all cruise vessels visiting Atlantic Canada calling on Halifax. In addition to meeting emission targets, the port is working with their partners to develop a common strategy to decrease the impacts of climate change on the port, including sea level rise, the frequency and severity of storm events, and changing temperatures. As we celebrate Earth Day and recognize the Canadian leaders in climate action change, your choice is clear. Vote for Halifax. Thank you.
Halifax, are you? I like that. That was clever. One of Canada's most historic and oldest cities, Quebec City, is like stepping into another world. Quebec City has been a pioneer in sustainable events. I saw that firsthand when I was there for Carnival a number of years ago. Quebec's champion is Robert Arsenault, and he's excited to be learning and sharing the incredible projects and gifts Quebec has given the sustainable movement in Canada. Welcome, Robert, and bonne chance, Quebec.
Hi there, I'm Rob Arsenault, and I'm super excited to be here to be a champion for Quebec City. Quebec City is a food haven with nearly 1,400 years of history. Quebec City has put a lot of its attention into initiatives on reducing waste and becoming more sustainable. In 2010, the province's power grid had one of the lowest carbon footprints, with about 99% of its energy produced by renewable energy. And by sharing its energy with its neighbors, Quebec will contribute to the reduction of greenhouse gases beyond its borders. In Quebec City, the city has two major festivals: Festival d'été de Québec, the summer festival, and Carnaval du Québec, the winter carnival. Both have made commitments to the environment that include on-site recycling and composting, reusing construction materials from past installations, and choosing sites that are accessible not only by bicycle, but also by public transportation. A noteworthy hotel is Hotel de Dieu Quebec. It's a 45-room hotel, originally built in 1774. In its lifespan, it has been a convent, a tavern, an apartment building, and now is the city's only carbon neutral hotel. When it comes to events, the Quebec City Centre prides itself on being sustainable and focusing on energy, on being environmentally friendly as possible. Some of the initiatives they've included are a smart water system that reduces consumption, energy efficient lighting and mercury-free lights, using steam heating systems that are eco-friendly and using electricity on off-peak hours, and individual automated lighting, heating, and ventilation and air quality controls in each room, and monitoring and cleaning products that can affect air quality. They also work with their clients to ensure that each event is sustainable as possible and must meet at least level 1 sustainable requirements. The city's full of beauty and wonder. It's full rich in history. There's so many places to go, so many beautiful venues to visit, as well as hold really awesome events. In summary, Quebec is a perfect location for your event and a really great place to hold sustainable events. I cannot encourage you enough to consider Quebec City for your next event or your family travel. Without question, Quebec City deserves your vote in this and for the most sustainable location. And if anything I haven't said so far that has not convinced you, I raise you poutine, maple syrup, sugar pie, and the first commercial brewery. I cannot get much more Canadian than that, eh? Dubbed the most sustainable city in Canada, Quebec City not only focuses on preserving its history, but also being sustainable. Fun fact, Quebec City is the second oldest city, with St. John's being a mere 111 years older. With nearly 400 kilometers of bike trails and easily accessible bike rentals, Quebec City is a very bikeable city. These cute buses that are 97% sustainable were introduced in 2008. They go all over the city, and because of their small size, are able to navigate the small, narrow roads. St. John's Gate is one of the many entry points into the completely walled off old Quebec City. St. John's Gate is one of the most iconically photographed structure in the city. Right past this gate, you'll find shops, restaurants, and many, many concert halls. Turney Fountain was one of 6 fountains created in 1853 for the 1855 World's Fair. After this fair, they were put into storage and became in disrepair. In the early 2000s, Peter Simons loved the beauty so much he had them lovingly restored, and it was installed in Quebec City in 2007, the ultimate recycling project. Taking a break from the hustle and bustle, there are many amazing, beautiful parks like this one to take a break in. A great way to escape the hustle and bustle of the busy event lifestyle. Overlooking the St. Lawrence River is the Chateau Frontenac, that holds a World Guinness record for the most photographed hotel in the entire world. It's also a sustainable hotel. The hotel received a Green Key rating for initiatives like recycling kitchen grease, donating used household goods to local charities, and offering guests driving hybrids free vehicle parking. Place du Connetier, located near the cruise liner terminal in the Old Port, this offers amazing views of the most popular tourist places to visit, inspired by 19th century wood wharves and fully walkable. In the summer, you can take a break from the heat with the intermittent mist sprays among the flagstones arranged to resemble waves. And lastly, there's Terrasse d'Affren. This year-round lookout point offers stunning views no matter what the season is. This site is fully walkable and making it much more sustainable. A great place to wrap up your visit of beautiful Quebec City.
Montreal is known for many things: its amazing restaurants, vibrant cultural scene, and its popularity with meeting and convention attendees. Montreal has also hosted the world's largest Earth Day event rally ever. The city has pledged to reduce its emission by 55% in 2030, showing strong action ahead of the more common net zero by 2050. Strong competition for the rest of our destination nominees. Their champion, Matthew Delory, will now show us how Montreal excels in many areas of climate action. We look forward to his style and grace as he sells us on Montreal for the most beautiful and most sustainable event destination in Canada. Let's hear from Matthew.
Bonjour, mon ami. I'm Matthew Delory, Director of Global Accounts with Strategic Site Selection, and I have the privilege of being the champion for the most beautiful city in Canada, Montreal. Having been to the city more times than I can count for work, pleasure, and everything in between, I've experienced it all. But what is it that makes Montreal so beautiful? Let's chat about it. Is it the beautiful Montreal-style bagels, which are also my favorite breakfast item? Or is it the beautiful and colorful Cirque du Soleil shows? No, I know what it is. The most beautiful order of poutine. I can feel the gravy dripping down my chin. Nah, that can't be it either. Okay, for real this time. I will let you know why Montreal is so beautiful. Celine Dion. Haha. Although Celine is super beautiful, it's not her that makes Montreal beautiful, it's the people who live there. This cosmopolitan city in the middle of the St. Lawrence River is home to over 4 million locals, all with a role to play. The people of Montreal take pride in their city, and you can feel that vibe as soon as you arrive in the urban center. Locals believe in natural spaces, preserving and protecting the natural beauty that comes from being not just in a setting, but a mindset, and a feeling that you can only get when you're in Montreal. Mount Royal is in the middle of the city, reminds locals that they are part of a great ecosystem surrounded by water, and that they need to preserve the island with everything they do. All neighborhoods have green initiatives, and the locals definitely play their part. Their hyper-awareness plays a huge factor in why the quality of life in Montreal is so great, and why they each individually value their city so much. This sustainable destination has a great long-term vision for how to preserve the natural beauty that surrounds them. And that's why Greta Thunberg chose to attend, speak, and march with 500,000 people in the Montreal climate change protest in September 2019. Hey, if it's beautiful enough for the most well-known environmental activist in the 21st century, it's beautiful enough for me. Help me make Montreal the most beautiful place in the country. Vote for Montreal today. Au revoir. The Montreal Metro is a public transport network that serves the island of Montreal. The underground pneumatic metro does not generate any atmospheric pollution when it is used. Montreal's public transit system and pedestrian-friendly streets can take you anywhere. We have over 750 kilometers of bike paths as well. Les Jardineries blooms at the Esplanade of the Olympic Park, a fun urban green space with activities for all ages, featuring a large urban garden with flowers and vegetables at the foot of the Olympic Stadium. This is a sustainable and eco-responsible way to take back former Olympic spaces. Majestically rising up in the middle of the city, Mount Royal, the mountain to locals, is a symbol of the city's heritage, history, geography, and inspiration, hosting founding institutions, beautiful hillside cemeteries, and Mount Royal Park, a four-season playground. Did you know that Mount Royal is now a heritage site? The roof of the Palais offers almost 20,000 square feet of outdoor space, complete with breathtaking views of Montreal, and is crowned with vast rooftop garden where vegetables, fruit, and fine herbs are grown, and beehives pollinate all the greenery. The Palais also unveiled Canada's first urban rooftop vineyard, and the world's first in a northern environment. The Palais de Congrès de Montreal is an internationally recognized art icon, a BOMA Best certified green building, and an accessible facility for all people with reduced mobility. Frédéric Bach Park constitutes a unique metamorphosis, begun in 1995, of a former quarry and a landfill site into a vast green space, the most ambitious environmental rehabilitation project ever undertaken by the metropolis in urban areas in North America, winner of Gold Medal Environmentally Sustainable Projects Award. The Lachine Canal natural setting has made it a valued green corridor in the heart of the city. A link between the city and nature, its 13.5-kilometer urban route runs between the Old Port and Lake St. Louis, a navigable waterway punctuated by 5 locks. Along its banks, a linear green urban park is lined with vestige of the industrial era when the canal boomed. Originally the United States Pavilion at Expo 67, built by Richard Buckminster Fuller, American engineer, architect, and futurist who developed the geodesic dome, the biosphere has since become an iconic architectural landmark and environment museum. Montreal Trudeau International Airport. ADM announced the creation of an ecological park on part of its land located northwest of the YUL tracks, a first at a Canadian airport, which earned it the Green Project ICI Plus Award. Village au Pied du Grand is a non-profit. The project subscribes to the goal of revitalizing an underutilized urban space, while also permitting the local community to reappropriate it. This creative and festive area is a reinvented public space built anew every year by a collective effort. Offering exceptional views of the St. Lawrence River, it includes a traditional boardwalk lined with pavilions, a space for food trucks, a beer garden, an artesian market on Sundays, and a beach playing host to numerous activities and entertainment. Les Jardineries blooms at the Esplanade of the Olympic Park, a fun urban green space with activities for all ages, featuring a large urban garden with flowers and vegetables at the foot of the Olympic Stadium. This is a sustainable and eco-responsible way to take back former Olympic spaces.
I'm glad I don't have to vote. It's a tough choice so far. Candace and I recently met one of Canada's newest event producers, Cooper Price of Climate Live. We interviewed Cooper for our podcast, Planners for the Planet, and then invited him to be here on Earth Day and tell us all about Climate Live. We hope you'll all support this great initiative, and let's hear from Cooper.
Hi there, my name is Cooper Price, and I am a 17-year-old high school student and climate activist with Climate Live Canada. I am so grateful to be at the Earth Day for Events People Forum and to have the chance to speak to some of the folks working hard to make events as sustainable as possible. Climate Live is an international movement that is based on one very simple idea. Music has the power to unite people. With Climate Live Canada, we are organizing in-person and online concerts for the climate, bringing together the music community and the environmental scene behind one common goal. At 7 and 11 p.m. Central Time on April 24th, Climate Live Canada is hosting a free live stream event, bringing together music performances by some of Canada's biggest names and speeches from activists on the front lines of the fight for climate justice. We're inviting people of all backgrounds to join us in this exciting premiere. On October 16th, Climate Live Canada will take this drive to in-person concerts for the climate, hoping to fill venues in some of Canada's major cities, such as Toronto, Halifax, Vancouver, and Calgary. We hope that by bringing communities of all kinds together, we can tackle the climate crisis with the urgency that it deserves. We hope that you can join us in whatever way you can. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cooper. Climate Live sounds awesome. Looking forward to that. Niagara-on-the-Lake. It was the first capital of Upper Canada and an epicenter of the War of 1812. Say hello to the Niagara-on-the-Lake champion, Sherry Ricks. She brings her depth of experience and her many events in Niagara-on-the-Lake to the forefront as she sings the praises of one of the most recognized destinations in Canada. Good luck, Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Canada coast to coast, natural beauty, rich with sustainable communities and destinations, which are crucial to reducing the carbon footprint of all events and activities in their area. As event professionals, we are partners with our beautiful destinations in working towards achieving carbon neutral. My name is Sherry Bricks, and let me introduce you to the Canadian destination that meets the criteria of a sustainable community, a truly historic, environmentally conscious, and picturesque town located at the tip of the Niagara Peninsula, none other than Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario. Its heritage and extraordinary beauty is second to none. From the Niagara River in Lake Ontario to historic tourist attractions, from the very best wineries in the country to its sun-ripened tender fruits, Niagara-on-the-Lake embodies a diverse, inclusive, and sustainable community. It's home to 17,500 residents, focusing on environmental and economic issues, urban infrastructure, extensive cycling trails, and a unique climate adaptation plan. And I'd be remiss not to mention the area's incredible bed and breakfast options, from the elegant to the romantic to best value, and of course, a variety of hotels to expertly host any size meeting or event. Niagara-on-the-Lake is constantly celebrating its beauty while taking active steps to preserve it and create value for local partners, for the community, and for the tourism industry. Take a stroll through any of the Niagara parks and you will see the extensive environmental protection plans in place. On this Earth Day for Event People 2021, I invite you to celebrate and cast your vote for the most obvious choice, Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario. Together, let's raise a glass of Niagara's finest. Cheers.
The town of Niagara-on-the-Lake is located on the Niagara Peninsula, where the Niagara River meets Lake Ontario in the Niagara region of southern Ontario. The town of Niagara-on-the-Lake has a rich history dating back to 1781, when it was the first capital of the province of Upper Canada. It was the location of the War of 1812, and Parks Canada has diligently restored and maintained these historic sites, including Fort George, Fort Mississauga, and Brock's Monument. Over the decades, residents recognized the value of the soil and close proximity to bodies of water. Acres and acres of grapes and tender fruit were planted across the town. Niagara-on-the-Lake continues to have an outstanding agriculture industry. Of note, Stratus Winery was the first winery in Canada to earn the LEED, Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, Canada certification. In addition, several wineries are organic, including Southbrook Vineyard and Frog Pond Farm Winery. The town of Niagara-on-the-Lake is the only municipality in Ontario to construct, maintain, and operate a municipal irrigation system. This allows farmers access to water even during the dry summer months. The town also has a committee of council to develop a strategy for a phragmites-free Niagara-on-the-Lake. The invasive species has been a challenge in drains and stormwater management ponds. The beauty of Niagara-on-the-Lake, combined with the ever-expanding wineries, outstanding restaurants, and world-class theater, make it a popular tourism destination. The historic downtown has hosted many events, such as White Parties, the annual Ice Wine Festival, and Peach and Cherry Festivals. The town is home to many multi-trail pathways and expansive green spaces, including a historic walk through the Commons and the famous Niagara Parkway. Winston Churchill once rightly said, "The Niagara Parkway was the prettiest drive in the world." Niagara College has a campus in town that is host to a School of Horticulture as well as a viticulture program. The school has a reputation for innovative environmental programs and applied research. The Niagara Parks Commission also has a School of Horticulture. Niagara-on-the-Lake is home to some of the best restaurants in the world. Ryan Crawford owns Rufino's Pasta Bar and Grill, formerly Backhouse Restaurant. He focuses on integrated, cool climate cuisine and reducing food waste and uses a wood fire oven. Chef also has a garden so he can easily source seasonal and local ingredients for use in his restaurant. Prepare to be inspired by Niagara-on-the-Lake's vast landscapes, historical architecture, world-class wine, entertainment, and accommodations. This desirable tourist location provides an environment committed to sustainability and focused on providing visitors with exceptional opportunities to engage with the beautiful world around them. We hope to see and welcome you back here very soon.
Thank you, Sherry. This next destination is on my bucket list of stunning places in Canada to visit. It's beautiful Banff. Banff is our only destination located within a national park and strives to be a model environmental community, adopting and implementing innovative programs to protect and enhance the natural environment. Their champion, Kate Kelly, is the owner of Conventional Association Management. Kate has long been a leader in the Alberta event community and is currently the president of CanSPEP. Good luck, Kate. Good luck, Banff.
Hi, I'm Kate Kelly with Conventional Management. I'm an association and event manager here in Alberta, and I'm thrilled to be the champion for Banff, Alberta. Did you know that Banff, Alberta is not just a pretty face? They take sustainability and the climate very seriously. The town of Banff has been taking the lead on reducing GHG emissions, and their goal is to have 100% renewable energy by 2050. Solar energy, reducing emissions. What other town collects their rainwater and their snow melt to wash their public transit buses? And they don't do it alone either. The town of Banff offers rebates to businesses and residents alike who join them in the efforts on sustainability. So it's beautiful, a great destination, and sustainable. Hopefully one of your first destinations once we get back to travel. Please vote for Banff, Alberta, the crown jewel of Canada's natural riches and the heart of the Rocky Mountains. And then when it's safe, come visit us. We have so much to offer for both business meetings and personal travel. Thank you, and vote for Banff. This is Banff, Alberta. The town of Banff, it's heart of the Rockies and in my very own backyard. The town of Banff is long considered a crown jewel of Canada's natural riches. An early adopter of environmental practices, they are already on their second 10-year environmental plan. The first one ran from 2008 to 2018. They work on smaller 4-year strategic plans to aid in their larger goals in the area of air, ecosystems, energy, sustainable transportation, waste, and water. There are a number of LEED buildings in the town, including the Fedlands Banff Recreation Centre and the Transit Services Building. And the town of Banff has a standard that all new municipal buildings must meet or exceed LEED Silver level certification. Too much CO2 is bad for cold and snow, so Banff has aggressive targets to reduce their GHG emissions to 30% below 2005 levels by 2030 and 80% by 2050. Far more difficult than carbon neutral targets. This is a concerted effort to reduce their emissions, not just use offsets to reach neutrality. In order to keep enjoying the recreational aspects of their region, Banff is very careful with their water usage. Their public washrooms feature low flow and waterless plumbing, and they collect rainwater and snow melt to wash their public transit buses. Their curling rink and arena collect their ice melt to be used for their toilets grow system, and that's super cool. There's something missing from this photo. Do you know what it is? We see it far too often in other photos, and that's litter. Banff is serious about waste reduction. Their goal is 70% community-wide waste diversion by 2028, with zero waste to the landfills by 2050. This is an incredibly ambitious goal, and we hope that other destinations are inspired by this action. Not only is Banff reducing GHG emissions, but their goal is to have 100% renewable energy by 2050. They already have a number of solar projects in place, including at their rec center, which has over 984 solar panels and is the largest solar installation in the Bow Valley, as well as in their public bathrooms, in the main town hall area, and City Hall. They have a four-pronged approach to energy, which is energy efficient buildings, local low carbon energy, importing renewable energy, and low carbon transportation. Banff actively tracks their emissions on City Insight and publishes the figures in order to keep themselves accountable. Banff also supports sustainable transportation through their pedestrian laneways, their support of cycling, and their own bus service. They include intra and inter-town transportation in their emissions estimates, which raises the bar for the reduction of GHG emissions. It's clear they take this seriously. I can promise you, this photo wasn't photoshopped. It's amazing. Walking is great until you meet a bear or an irritated moose, and the people of Banff understand keeping wildlife and humans apart is a good idea if you want to reduce vehicle traffic, so be aware.
One of the great advantages Banff has is its partnerships with Parks Canada, the Biosphere Institute of Bow Valley, and the Bow Valley Naturalists. In addition, they partner with other municipalities in the area on waste, transportation, and wildlife management because they understand they are part of a larger picture. As a tourism hub, many livelihoods depend on keeping the area beautiful to attract visitors. The town of Banff, they're putting their money on the table. The town of Banff puts its money where its mouth is. They offer rebates to businesses and residents alike for green and energy efficient projects and an extensive solar energy rebate program. This underlines the grave importance Banff puts on protecting its oversight of this stunning Canadian area. The town of Banff, majestic, crown jewel of the Rocky Mountains, and sustainable. You couldn't ask for more. So vote for Banff. There's no other choice.
Wow, what an incredible presentation. Well done, Kate. Earlier this week, I had a conversation with Michael Drake of Tourism Vancouver about Vancouver's sustainability actions. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I hope you do too. Hey everyone, welcome. I'm here with Michael Drake, who is the Director of Sales for Tourism Vancouver, an incredibly sustainable city. And thank you very much, Michael, one of our sponsors for today's Earth Day for Event People. And we wanted to ask you a little bit about Vancouver's sustainability, if that's okay.
Certainly. It's a pleasure to be here and part of the whole project.
Well, lovely to have you here and beautiful backdrop. I'm kind of finding myself staring at it. You live and work in a very beautiful part of the country, but Vancouver is known for appreciating its beauty and for its climate action. And it's done great, hard, expensive work on building its infrastructure up, particularly in buildings. Could you tell us a little bit about some of the greener buildings that we can host our events in Vancouver?
The crown jewel and the example globally is the Vancouver Convention Center, which was the first double platinum LEED convention center in the world.
Wow.
Which is unique is, first you get the award for building it to start with, over the water, overlooking the mountains, and then, but it's just as hard to keep that certification as you move forward.
Yeah.
Which speaks to how they recycle water, using seawater for heat, green roof, to having beehives on the roof that they put into their food and beverage offerings.
Absolutely, absolutely. My good friend Andrew Pollard was there and he's been bragging about it for years. He sometimes forgets he's from PEI because he tells me Vancouver is the be all and end all. You saw what I did there, right? The be all and end all, but they've done incredible incredible things, with your food, the sustainability. Outside of the convention center, what other buildings are there?
You can see over my shoulder a picture of Stanley Park, which you can imagine, is sustainable on its own. And within that is the Vancouver Aquarium. And what they're really unique in the aquarium world, first of all, they have a program in there called Ocean Wise, which many of you may recognize, which pushes, sustainable fishing, purchasing the right fish at the right time of the year, and it runs across the country. It's a national program, and it's all funded through revenue that the aquarium makes. But then additionally, the aquarium is a LEED certified building onto its own. And having actually access to the ocean, they use the seawater to cool it. So both in terms of development, keeping it cool, and then a national program for food and beverage, which really speaks to the federal government's move into the new blue economy. People like the aquarium are shining examples of how we're going to do that.
Absolutely. Now you were telling me a little bit about some technology and some construction that they're working on at University of BC, and I know it doesn't directly relate to events, but it could if they build some of those facilities for us event people. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
One just speaks to the culture in British Columbia. So first of all, one of the first tallest wood structure was built at UBC in 2016. And just last week, the provincial government just added more funding and grants to wood structures all through BC, and of which many projects will be here in Vancouver. And being up against the mountains and the forest, you can just see that a lumber building really is going to go well towards it. And just speaks that the provincial government is invested in a green economy here.
That is fantastic because right now most buildings are built using cement, which makes up 7% of total emissions. People do not realize how bad cement really is. So that is fantastic. Now, Michael, you know my day job is I'm a DMC. Talk to me a little bit about transportation in your city.
The best thing was a legacy of the 2010 Winter Olympics was the train from the airport to downtown. It's very easy to use, takes you right to the base of the convention center or to many of the hotels. So saving on transportation right there is the easiest. I myself live downtown in Vancouver. I walk from one end of the peninsula to the other every day. Again, it's just such a walkable city. Or taking a bike. See, Vancouver just added in some new bike lanes on some of the roads now to make it easier to bike around. We're sort of encouraged to walk everywhere. And in fact, we have a lot of planners. They're planning a convention and say, oh, we have to have transportation. And we're like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Well, after the first day, they're like, right, Michael, nobody is actually taking the bus. They want to walk everywhere. I was like, as long as you maybe have an umbrella with you, it's an easy walk.
Absolutely. Well, and your city planner, or your previous city planner, Brent Tadarian's a bit famous in sustainability circles for the work he's done on bike lanes and really getting cars off the road. So congratulations, really forward thinking. And I mean, those are expensive long-term projects that Vancouver's really put into place. So many of us are going to come and visit you because it's beautiful and very sustainable. What are some ways that when we visit Vancouver, we can ensure that it's a little bit or stays beautiful and that our events are a bit more sustainable?
One is just encouraging people to walk is one when they're going to a venue and perhaps putting on your map as to where the locations are. There's many venues that are close to all the hotels. We have 47 Green Key hotels in the city, and they're all close to the venues. So just picking a venue that's a little bit closer would be great.
Wow, that's amazing. 47 Green Key Global hotels to pick from in your city. Michael, thank you so much. Congratulations on living and working in such a sustainable city. And I think your champion's up soon. So good luck.
Good luck. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
What a great interview. It's wonderful to see. Whitehorse is next. Whitehorse has been nicknamed the Wilderness City, and for good reason. I tried dog sledding there and absolutely loved my experience in Whitehorse. The champion for Whitehorse today is the incomparable Heidi Wilker. She's known for her generous support of other industry professionals, and she even has a mentorship award named for her. Thank you, Heidi, for all that you do, and good luck, Whitehorse.
Hi, everyone. I'm here to talk about beautiful Whitehorse in the Yukon Territory. I had the opportunity to do site selection with a client there once. It truly is what you might call God's country. Vibrant, friendly city surrounded by wilderness, incredible scenery, and respectful of the Indigenous community. The city has a 12-goal sustainability plan to nurture and preserve this beauty with targets in 2020, 2030, and 2050. This plan is shared on the city's website and states, all citizens have a role to play in moving towards our goals and targets, and the city has a special responsibility in helping us make the choices towards sustainability. Talk about focused inclusivity. Whitehorse and the Yukon Territory have had a green focus for over 10 years. Being in the far north, there are many factors to consider when it comes to being sustainable. Varying availability of sunlight, cold climate, and remoteness to the rest of the country. But here are a few ways in which they are overcoming these challenges. Generating solar power is a major focus, championed by a company called Solvest. Excess power goes back into the grid to maintain this resource. Local farming has increased over the past 10 years using massive greenhouses so that it can happen year-round. Buying local is huge in Whitehorse, so much so that even the big box stores support local produce. Electric vehicle usage is increasing, with 16 charging stations available now and more being added monthly. Yukon University in Whitehorse is a leader in climate research and innovation. They have partnered with Water Canada to develop cold climate innovation. Whitehorse sets an excellent example for focused and planned sustainability. They are the perfect candidate for your vote.
Bike to Work Whitehorse has 150 kilometers of trails citywide. This is allowing residents to bike to work year-round. Fat bikes are a regular sight in winter, even at -30. This electric car charging station was installed in November 2018 at the Yukon Transportation Museum, free to anyone passing by that needs a boost. This was the third station to be installed, and now we have a total of 16. 4 of Yukon's breweries offer refillable growlers, and Yukon Brewing reuses domestic brown beer bottles from Raven Recycling, a local depot in Whitehorse. The Northern Lights Resort features views of the Aurora Borealis, or Northern Lights, at a local resort. Solvest's 900 kilowatt solar system setup and 350 kilowatt hours of battery storage still lets elders pick berries between panels and will allow Old Crow to be able to operate with diesel generators turned off for 95 to 100 non-consecutive days of the year, offsetting 30% diesel consumption, approximately 190,000 liters, which is the equivalent of taking 140 cars off the road. Yukon features the second highest number of artists per capita in Canada. Quebec is first, and our limited resources make artists resourceful, reusing metal parts like in this recycled horse or recycled glass from Raven Recycling, like at Lumol Glass Blowing Studio. There are 2,200 square kilometers of protected wilderness of rugged peaks, permafrost landforms, and abundant life, all reflected in rich First Nations culture. Foraging has become the latest trend in Yukon and showing up on plates in many local restaurants or in local products such as Free Pour Jenny's Bitters, any Yukon beer, Klondike kettle corn, and health and wellness products. Yukon Berry is a local business that supports community with a HasCap U-Pick in July, and it runs irrigation directly from the glacier-fed Yukon River. It now offers HasCap wine and ciders crafted in Yukon. Planting as early as February and harvesting as late as November. Yukon greenhouses use solar panels, biomass boilers, and the Yukon Do It attitude to grow fresh produce regularly supplied at local grocery stores and the Fireweed Farmers Market. You will even find the latest Cold Acres food system set up in a retrofitted shipping container that offers fresh herbs year-round.
Thanks, Heidi. Next up, we're going to learn a bit more about Vancouver from their champion, Sharon Bonner. Sharon is one of the most award-winning event producers in Canada. She worked closely with Susan Graham of Tourism Vancouver on this project. Good luck, Sharon and Vancouver. Following this, we'll hear a bit more from Rita Plaskett as she sings the praises of beautiful Victoria.
Hi, my name is Sharon Bonner, and I'm the CEO and founder of Bright Ideas Event Agency. I started my event business in 1988 in a small apartment in Kitsilano, and here 33 years later, we're still going strong. I love Vancouver and all of the event opportunities it offers us. Here are my top 5 reasons why I think Vancouver is the greenest city in Canada. The Vancouver Convention Centre has 6 acres of green living roof and a seawater heating and cooling system. It's also made out of reclaimed wood, like this, and has a view to die for. The Vancouver Convention Centre and other hotels have active beehives on their properties that produce honey, which is used in their kitchens. Sweet. Our farm-to-table programs focus on ingredients within 100 kilometers so that everything is local and fresh, just like these beans. I love seafood, and I'm so proud that Vancouver has sustainable fishing and embraces the Ocean-wise seafood program. That's important to me. Vancouver is a walkable city with lots of green space to explore either on bike, scooter, or foot. Don't forget to bring your runners. It's no secret that Vancouver is Canada's urban rainforest where everything is green all year round. We have dozens of Green Key certified hotels and sustainable transportation like the Canada Line, the SkyTrain, and the SeaBus. If you haven't held an event in Vancouver lately, you need to. Producing an event that helps save the planet makes you feel good. So come to Vancouver and feel good. Welcome to Vancouver, Canada's greenest city with amazing sustainable transportation such as the Canada Line, SkyTrain, and the SeaBus. Vancouver has over 50 Green Key certified hotels that save water and electricity on a daily basis. The Vancouver Convention Centre, one of my favorite venues, has 6 acres of living roof along with a seawater heating and cooling system. Fairmont Waterfront, Vancouver Convention Centre, and other hotels have active beehives on their properties that harvest honey to be used in their kitchens. The Vancouver Aquarium embraces an ocean conservation program that empowers consumers and businesses to choose sustainable seafood options. Vancouver has great green space around the city for delegates, visitors, and locals to explore on foot, bike, or scooter. Yoga at Jack Pool Plaza, anyone? Vancouver has sustainable fishing and farm-to-table programs which focus on ingredients within 100 kilometers. We have a grizzly bear habitat on Grouse Mountain, a research center at Vancouver Aquarium, and a cliff walk at Capilano Suspension Bridge. Life on the West Coast is all about being green and embracing health and wellness opportunities.
Welcome to Victoria, British Columbia, an acronym for sustainability and beauty. My name is Rita Plaskett, and I am thrilled to be the champion of Victoria, a global destination with sustainability at its core. There is so much that I want to share with you that I was afraid I'd miss a few things, so I've jotted down a few notes. So here we go. Victoria has many LEED certified hotels and airlines, attractions with advanced sustainability, give back programs, and where profitability of the local businesses is driven by sustainability. Victoria was declared a carbon neutral destination this February, and very proud to announce that today, April 22nd, on Earth Day, the Victoria Conference Centre will officially become carbon neutral. There is so much that makes Victoria Canada's nature's playground. Bike instead of drive, walk in the beautiful gardens rather than busy city streets, and stop to enjoy a glass of your favorite wine at Deep Cove Winery, an estate winery committed to sustained growing practices since 2017. Just 30 minutes outside downtown Victoria in the Saanich Peninsula is the Flavor Trail, a crafted trail taking you through local land of farmsteads, cider presses, bakers, distillers, honey farmers, brewers, growers, all contributing to its unofficial title of the island's Salad and Fruit Bowl. Ocean Network Canada in Victoria is committed to monitoring and protecting the seafloor and ecosystem in the blue economy, ensuring the protection of sea life, including the beautiful whales you'll see as part of your everyday scenery. Vancouver Island and Victoria's rich and fascinating history is rooted in Indigenous culture stretching back thousands of years and British and Asian traditions since mid-1800s. These influences echo proudly through Victoria's amazing architecture, heritage sites, museums, gardens, galleries, markets, and cultural celebrations. There's so much I could say, but a picture paints 1,000 words. So let me paint you a picture of Canada's playground. Destination Greater Victoria achieved the carbon neutral designation, the first DMO to achieve this in North America. Congratulations. Victoria is the capital city of British Columbia. The city of Victoria is focused and invested in their sustainability vision and initiatives. The city of Victoria is located on the homelands of the Songhees and Esquimalt nations. The Indigenous history of the local area is shown throughout the region. This is Fantan Alley in Chinatown. Victoria is home to the oldest Chinatown in Canada. The city is proud to be inclusive of diverse cultures in its region. From farm to table, life in Victoria is about enjoying the culinary treats from our local farms and producers in the region. And here are our local residents, pods of orcas in their natural habitat in the Salish Sea. Harbor Air Seaplanes, a local company with the world's first fully electric commercial aircraft. And here's Pacific Northwest Transportation Services, who operate fully electric double-decker buses focused on providing a sustainable option to a growing industry while reducing air and noise emissions in the community. These buses meet the cruise lines when they arrive. These two local hotels, Inn at Laurel Point and Parkside, are not only beautiful properties, but they both share a commitment to the environment and are designated carbon neutral hotels. Victoria Conference Centre just announced its designation as a carbon neutral venue and can provide planners with the option to become a carbon neutral event. Thank you for letting me share Victoria with you. So go and vote for Victoria.
Well, it's time. I hope you learned a ton and hopefully met some new people, either presenting or through chat. And first, before we get to voting, we are so grateful for our beautiful country, for all of our destinations, the champions who work so hard to learn so much, and to the sponsors for their hard work in making today happen. You are going to be asked to vote for the destination that you feel is the most sustainable event location in Canada. And while you're all voting and the team is tabulating the votes, we're going to welcome up our very first TSEF sponsor and our dear friend, Robert Thompson of AV Canada. So I think we're going to see next the poll and Robert. Hey, Robert, welcome. Welcome. I'm going to be honest with you. We were humbled and grateful when you first stepped forward as a partner. You supported us 100% right from the very beginning. The AV Canada team has been incredible to us in the 2 years that we've been doing this. At our first event, you did it in person, completely off the grid. Maybe share with people who are new to TSEF, why did AV Canada jump on board immediately and with such dedication?
Well, has it been 2 years since that first event? I can't believe it. So much has happened in those 2 years period. Look at where we are today and look at where we were 2 years ago. So actually it was really you and Candace who inspired me into action. Before you and Candace came along, I was very frustrated when it came to sustainability and helping Mother Earth. Yes, very. I wanted to help, but I had absolutely no idea how to help. It wasn't until you gave me your vision of TSEF that without hesitation, I said AV Canada is in as a partner. I'm not sure how we could have helped. I'm not sure what we could do, but we were in because I saw your vision and I wanted to be part of it. From there, sort of at the same time, we had a new product come in and in the industry, and it was a solar powered wind power generator that they'd been using in the film industry. So I brought it on board and I had a vision to use it and to try to develop for our industry. And we were able to do your events completely off the grid, the first one. So with that vision, I went to my team and I said, you know, how do we make this happen, right? And so a lot of power consumption calculations were done by a lot smarter people than I, and we were hugely successful on that first event as partners. So it was your vision that inspired my vision that 2 years later, I believe the number of people at this event today, which is huge, I understand, started a movement. And we can help save the world by starting right here at home in the events industry, you know, the industry that we love. And that's sort of how it came about. And we're here to push further. And I can only tell you by what's happened today, what happened in your last event, you know, your podcast that I listened to. I have been inspired by you and Candace, without a doubt. And I'm going to continue to be inspired. And if we all can just help a little bit and move in the right direction, I think it's just awesome, right? It's just awesome. We all got to do it.
Well, thank you so much, Robert. Again, your support has been incredible. And I understand from our behind the scenes team that we have a winner. So Robert, please, as our
Okay.
Robert, please, as our longest term supporter, would you announce the winner?
I want to make sure I've got it right here. So I'm just going through the numbers. I see them all on my screen. It looks like not by much. It's very close. I have to congratulate everyone. I think it was fantastic. But it looks to me like, and do drum roll. And I'm looking up here. It looks like Niagara on the Lake with Sherry Bricks representative is the winner.
Wow, Marty! I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I was a little surprised. You had some stiff competition.
This is amazing. I'm so excited. Niagara-on-the-Lake is such a small community of just 18,000 people. So to win this one is such an honor. Great people nominated for this. We are so delighted.
Yeah, well, your team did an incredible job working behind the scenes, getting people excited about it, ramping it up. And I think, you know, we are primarily an agricultural area and we open our doors as a tourism spot. So yeah, would you like to say anything to your other 9 nominees, to the attendees?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much. We couldn't be more delighted. We had some stiff competition. We're very excited and happy Earth Day.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, on behalf of all of us here, thank you for joining us. Congratulations to all of the nominees. We had 10 winners today. Well done. Happy Earth Day, everybody. And we'll see you at the next TSEF.